Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. So let us start with the kitab Al-Fatihah. Okay, this video will try to explain to you the methodology of systematic review. So for systematic review, basically we can divide into 5 steps, and we'll go step by step. So step 1 is developing research question. Okay, so this is actually not only for systematic review. If you refer to the briefing on FYP thesis format, you know that research question is actually needed in any research. So before you start any research, you need to come up with a research question. Yeah, so similarly for systematic review, so that you are focused. So that's why it's put here. The research question should be clear, unambiguous, and structured. Yeah, so it can guide you on what actually you want to review about. Yeah. So in your research question, you might want to define your study population. Okay, again, I give you the example. I want to assess the effectiveness of treatment A on disease B. Yeah, so you can say your study population is patient with disease B. Yeah, so the intervention is treatment A. Yeah, and then you can mention what is your outcome. Yeah, and what is your study design of interest. Yeah, so to assess the effectiveness, basically you need to look for experimental study. And if you want to cut down the number of available study, you might want to focus on RCT, randomized control trial. Yeah, so you can specify this in your research question. Okay, so for systematic review, the commonly used systematic review is to assess the effectiveness of a certain kind of treatment. Usually it is used to accumulate and to review treatment in clinical trials. That's why you might have noticed that many of the tools to assess for the quality of the study talk about bias. Because when there is bias, it can lead to wrong results. But you might have systematic review on different other topics, but it might not be as common as the systematic review on the effectiveness of treatment on clinical trial. Okay, so I've mentioned in the other video that for systematic review, especially for FYP, you should focus on only one research question, one specific objective, so that you are focused. Otherwise, it might be too much, in view of your time limitation. Okay, so after you have decided on your research question, you need to decide on how to identify your relevant studies. So how to find your studies, the relevant studies to answer your research question. You need to do extensive research using multiple resources. So you need to use different search engines. I give you example here: PubMed, Medline, Scopus, or Embase. So when you want to do your search, you need to use the keywords. So you need to note this keyword because you need to report this in your chapter 3 research methodology in your thesis later. So you might want to say that when you search using keyword A and B, using PubMed, how many articles you found. Using the same keywords in Medline, how many articles you found. So you need to detail this out in your methodology section. And one thing you need to set, this it is the inclusion and exclusion criteria for the studies to be included in your systematic review. Yeah, you can do this before or after you search, because even if you decide this after you search, you need to screen through your articles again later on. Yeah. So one example is that you focus only on one treatment. For example, you are talking about disease B. There are a number of treatments available, but you might want to focus only treatment A. Yeah, and then you can also focus only one or two specific outcomes. Yeah, so it would focus your search further. Yeah. And again, when you want to talk about the inclusion exclusion criteria, yeah, you might want to look at the PCOS here. Yeah, P is population. Yeah, so again, as I mentioned just now, okay, population, I want to focus on disease B. Okay, and what are the intervention? I want to focus on treatment A. Yeah, the comparison. So you want to focus on maybe the comparison is only control group, yeah, with no intervention, yeah, or you accept any other intervention also as the comparison. Yeah, and I've mentioned to you that you need to decide what outcome you want to look for. Yeah, and yeah, whether you are looking for the diagnosis, yeah, most of the time it is about the therapy. Yeah, and then the type of study design. Yeah, as I mentioned to you, yeah, of course, if you want to assess the effectiveness of treatment, RCT is the best study design. Yeah. So how this help you? So when you go to this is stage 1 of study selection. Yeah, meaning your step 2 just now. Yeah, stage 1. How do you select your study? First, you just look at the study title and the abstract first, because I think this is easily available. Yeah, you look at the study title. Yeah, maybe when you put in your keyword, you get I don't know, maybe thousands of articles. Yeah, but later when you look at one by one, you look at the study title. Yeah, you might found that many of that might not be relevant to what you want to review. Yeah, but I mentioned here, note the reasons for the inclusion of your study. Yeah, so the reason could be when you look under PubMed or Scopus, many of the articles might be redundant. Yeah, so duplicate. Yeah, so you can exclude that. Yeah, so you get less number of articles to be reviewed later. Yeah, we look at the flowchart later on any other reasons for exclusion of the study. Yeah, so first you look at the study title and abstract. Yeah, after you exclude the non-relevant studies. Yeah, so the selected is brought to stage 2. This is when you need to get the full paper. Yeah, and you can try to look for your full paper from the SkyHub website here. Yeah, inshallah, yeah, many of the articles you can get from this website. Yeah, full article. Yeah, so again, you do the same. Just now, you just look at the title and abstract, but now you look more detail, and then you might find further articles or study to be excluded. Yeah, again, yeah, you need to record why you say it does not meet the inclusion criteria. So maybe again, yeah, you might find more studies are duplicated studies, yeah, from the others, yeah, or maybe it's not exactly RCT, yeah, so you can exclude them, or they measure different outcome measures, yeah. So there are many reasons why you can exclude the articles from your review. This is one example. Yeah. So if you see here, identified from database searching 1044. Yeah, and then another 71 from another searching. Yeah. But even from looking at the title and abstract, yeah, they excluded almost half of the articles already. Yeah, even by screening from title and abstract, they get only 531, and these are the reasons for exclusion. Yeah, cross-sectional intervention or duration is not met, yeah, or even duplication is already removed here, yeah. And then you can mention your reason, how many articles are excluded for whatever reasons, yeah. And then after that, from this 531, yeah, they assess the full text and they exclude more articles, yeah. Even at this stage there are still duplicate articles, yeah, and it is down to 112, yeah. So later, yeah, maybe they you see further and you can exclude further. So here you see the full articles included an assessment for quality only 57, yeah, from 1000 plus, yeah. So this 57 you need to assess for the quality, yeah. So in assessing the quality of the study, you can use any form, any articles, yeah, for example Prisma, Amstar, but many of them are actually quite complicated, yeah. For example Prisma, or even I know some of you are looking at Cochrane, ROB2, yeah. For me it is quite complicated, yeah. You don't have to use the complicated ones, yeah. So because for FYP, if you ask me, this is just to give you an experience to do research, yeah, so that you know how to do it, yeah. If you want to do the complicated ones, you can do it later when maybe when you do your postgrad studies. But for this one, you just want to complete your FYP and you want to submit your thesis so that you can graduate, yeah. So one example, I think for the critical review form here, you can get it from the link here. This I think is quite simple, yeah, and this has been used by your senior before, so that's why I put it here. So if your senior can do it, so I'm sure, yeah, it is manageable, yeah, so you can use it. So meaning you don't have to use a very high quality kind of tool, yeah, for your FYP, yeah. Just adequate that we want to see that you show your effort, yeah, in trying to assess the quality of the studies, yeah. And then you need to present this in an appropriate table, yeah. So I've given you example, this is from your senior's thesis, yeah. She used the form that I showed you just now, yeah. So you just highlight the the items here, and then she presented one by one, yeah, in the different columns, yeah, for the different articles, yeah. This is for articles, yeah. And then there are more items, so you can go to the you can continue in the next page, yeah. And then this is A for these 4 articles, and then she go for table 4.1B for another articles, and so on, yeah. And then after you have assessed, yeah, you need to summarize the evidence, yeah, in an appropriate table. These are my suggestion. What are the items that you want to summarize? But of course, it is not compulsory to have everything here in your thesis. Again, it would depend on what you need to present for your study objective, yeah, for your research question, yeah. And but of course, the authors and year of publication is a must. You must have that in your summary table, yeah. And it's good to have the study area, study population, and sample size being mentioned in your summary table. And this is the example from your senior, yeah. So she put it in different columns for the different items that she want to present, yeah, and the different studies, yeah, in the different rows. And I've mentioned to you that there is no minimum number of studies to be included in systematic review, because I've mentioned to you just now there are many reasons why you can exclude the articles that you search, yeah. But you need to justify why you excluded those studies. And step 5 is interpreting your findings, yeah, from your summary table. So from the discussion, you can come up with your conclusion.